as our head of government, the Prime Minister of the country, been referred to a prosecutorial authority for corruption-related allegations arising out of his conduct in public office.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is currently in the Bahamas, where he's expected to speak at the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. However, the issue has been picked up by regional and international media.
This matter undermines Jamaica's image in the international community and among our key development partners, and is a major embarrassment for the Jamaican people.
According to opposition leader Mark Golding, it's a dark day for democracy in Jamaica. And if that statement sounds familiar, it was because it was said by Prime Minister Andrew Holness when he was opposition leader right on this very compound. It surrounded a report of allegations of corruption involving a government minister.
It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act.
Fast forward to 10 years later, and the opposition is calling on Prime Minister Andrew Holness to do the right thing and take a leave of absence, at least until the investigation is complete.
You, as the anti-corruption czar, the Prime Minister who was demonstrating how indignant and how intolerant he was of evil, the mere suggestion that any of his ministers would be corrupt. He must now see that it is time for him to act.
In a statement, Mr. Holness denied any wrongdoings. He said it's not uncommon for members of parliament to recommend contractors for a project in their constituency, but he gave no directive. The contract in question occurred some 14 years ago and involved Westcon, the company of an associate. Westcon was awarded a $1.45 million contract for Christmas work in the St. Andrew West Central constituency. But when asked what he would have done differently, Mr. Golding said this.
If indeed a member of parliament is asked to recommend a contractor, it should be somebody who is independent of the member of parliament and not somebody who it looks like they're possibly nominating because of the possibility of some benefit for themselves, which is always a specter where nepotism and cronyism is involved.
TVJ News understand that a response was sent to the Parliament by the Director of Prosecution Corruption at the Integrity Commission, Jamila Maitland, for TVJ News.
And once again, the opposition People's National Party press conference was held this morning before the release of the ruling in the afternoon.
To other news now, an autopsy performed on the body of 9-year-old Nikita Noel revealed that she died of strangulation. The medical examination, which was conducted last Friday, also revealed that she was molested. The Esher Primary School student was found dead in Kew District's Hanover 2 weeks ago. Investigators reported that the child was raped and strangled while returning home from school. A suspect was arrested shortly after Nikita's body was found in bushes. He's been questioned by CIB detectives. The suspect is said to be a friend of the child's mother.
Some more crime news now. With a spate of murders in the last 72 hours, the security forces have intensified their operations in St. James. They are targeting wanted men and illegal weapons. Anthony Lugg has the details.
A heavy military presence in Montego Bay, St. James, less than 48 hours after 3 people were killed in the parish, mere hours apart. As investigators try to determine the circumstances surrounding the murders, renewed concerns about crime in the town centre. Superintendent Aaron Samuels is head of operations for the St. James Police Division.
The town centre itself is an area of concern. As you know, it's a melting pot where persons from all over who may have conflicts in other sections of the city may meet up and decide to take out their revenge or actions against others there.
Despite the recent incidents, St. James continues to see a reduction in murders, shootings and robberies among other crimes. While residents have been breathing a sigh of relief, the killings earlier this week have left some worried. Among the communities of concern, an area known as Tucker, 2 men were cut down in a hail of bullets during an attack by gunmen at a pub last month.
in Tucker, we believe that it has some gang connotation in flanker. Some of the other incidents are domestic in nature, and some may have some Luscious undertone. But each is being given the full attention of our investigators, and as usual, we have shown that we are capable of solving these crimes, and we are on way to solving many. What I want the citizens to understand that we have these areas under control now, and we want to ensure that the citizens of St. James recognize that we, the security personnel within the parish, are fully committed to ensuring their safety.
And as the police do that, operations will be intensified in the days ahead. The police have warned it will not be business as usual.
We are going through the zones of special operation, we are going through the town center, we are going through all of the areas that we believe the criminals are creating havoc for the citizens of the parish. We intend to go on with this for the next 14 days. We have some major targets to be done right across the division.
Anthony Lug, TVJ News.
The 20-year-old male UWI student who allegedly tortured his ex-girlfriend for 3 days has been slapped with additional charges. In addition to assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, Matthew Hyde has been charged with false imprisonment and the use of malicious communication. He made his first court appearance today and is being represented by King's Counsel Peter Champagny.
An application for bail was not pursued today because we were served for the first time with statements in relation to this matter, and naturally the defense would need time to assess the file, make a considered view on it in relation to whether or not an application for bail can be pursued on the next occasion. In addition to that, there are certain assessments that will have to be made from the defense's point of view, and I would not care to speak more about that. Suffice to say that the matter is for the 9th of March for the next date when this matter is going to be heard.
And of course, we'll continue tracking that story. 24 hours after a state of public emergency was declared for the entire parish of St. Anne, the police were engaged in a fierce gun battle with criminals in Ocho Rios. This resulted in one man being shot and killed. Reports said that sometime after 11 o'clock, the police surveillance system spotted a car on Market Street, Ocho Rios, which they believed was used to commit a robbery last weekend. The vehicle was signaled to stop, but the driver sped off towards the Ocho Rios Town Transport Center.
The vehicle pointed a gun at the police. The policeman took evasive action and fired in the direction of the vehicle. The vehicle sped off and crashed some distance away from the original location of the incident.
The police say the man was later found suffering from gunshot wounds and was transported to hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival.
From the police made several efforts to locate the individual. We have yet to do so, and we're still searching. We have images of the individual, which we are currently carrying out some investigations. We have also identified the owner for the vehicle, and we're asking for these persons to come forward to assist the police with this investigation as best as possible.
A firearm was also seized by the police. The police also indicated that the victim was one of the violence producers in the parish who have been reporting to the Ocho Rios police station on condition of bail.
There's an urgent appeal from residents of a Hanover community for something to be done to stop a river from eroding a main road which acts as a bypass to Montego Bay St. James. The deputy mayor of Lucy has joined the call for the authorities to act, pointing to recent unfinished work by a utility company that's reportedly compounded the erosion. Krista Campbell reports.
A road at the mercy of a river. That's how residents of Elgin Town, Hanover describe what they say has been taking place at the East River for years.
Half of the road gone in the river. Look on the mess on the road.
But they say the National Water Commission's efforts to fix a burst pipe recently only made the problem worse.
The rain fall, pappy wet, how much months now? And nobody did, but the Water Commission put on the mall up. With months, a vehicle can't lick you away out of the road.
No, I didn't get the NWC to respond to these claims, but residents and even the deputy mayor insist the situation is dangerous.
Kids passing there. Taxi have to go to and fro. And guess what? They have to be stopping, squeezing to let one can pass. They are only waiting for an accident to happen there.
And if you bite them, we can't come through pan. We run too bad, much as they
We have nothing to go up. We have to go all the way around to come around with goods, with things. And no big unit can't pass here.
They're worried a heavy bout of rain could make things much worse as the river overflows its banks whenever that happens.
The last time it flooded, some cows were tying over there. And trust me, I'm sorry for the poor cow them, because the cow them can't swim if they come out of it. I don't even know if they're living or they're dead until this point. So when it come over, it come right over into the road, come in at the lane.
There's an area where the wall to the river has been compromised, and I am sure that when it rains that we are going to lose an entire section of the wall there. And if that happens, I am sure that the roadway will be compromised and maybe people will be unable to traverse that roadway.
Already they say business is affected as rafting is done in the area. Residents are urging the authorities to act quickly, especially now that the time is dry, and they note the area is an important bypass for the St. James capital of Montego Bay as it connects many communities in Hanover as well as Westmoreland.
Mount Peace, Clifton, Haskinish, Jericho, Cascade, Chew. You have many communities where you use this road.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Coming up